The countdown has begun. Heartland's Season 19 finale is fast approaching, bringing a wave of uncertainty, danger, and emotional upheaval that promises to change the fate of the entire family forever. After years of heartbreak, old wounds, and the return of a long-lost member, the question lingers: what will the ending of Heartland Season 19 bring? Will Ty and Amy's love survive the years of silence, betrayal, and pain? And what happens when the ghosts from the past threaten everything they've worked for? The answers are coming, but are we ready for them? The arrival of Ty Borden marks the beginning of the end for Heartland Season 19. For years, his presumed death has haunted the family. Amy, devastated by the loss of her partner, has done everything she could to keep her life and the ranch together for their daughter, Lindy. The heartbreak of Ty's disappearance has echoed throughout every corner of Heartland, leaving a void that no one could fill. But now, the shocking truth comes to light: Ty never died. His death was a lie, a carefully orchestrated plan to protect him from a dangerous past that threatened not just his life but the safety of everyone around him. As Ty steps back onto Heartland Ranch, nothing is the same. The years of separation have left scars that no one can easily erase. Amy, now a stronger, more independent woman, is confronted with emotions she never expected. The joy of seeing Ty again is overshadowed by the pain of betrayal. Why did he stay away for so long? Why didn't he reach out? Was their love ever real if he could leave her without a word? Amy's struggle to forgive Ty is only the beginning of the emotional roller coaster that awaits the family. The once inseparable bond between them has been fractured, and now they must navigate a new reality where old feelings, memories, and unanswered questions stand between them. The reunion is not filled with the joy they both hoped for, but with the raw tension of years lost and the ghosts of their past. Jack, Ty's mentor, and the man who loved him like a son, is torn between joy and anger. How could Ty let them grieve for so long? How could he not return sooner to ease their pain? Jack's relationship with Ty has always been one of fatherly love and tough love, but now that Ty has returned, the trust between them will need to be rebuilt. Jack's feelings are complicated, as years of pain are difficult to forget, even when Ty's return brings a sense of relief. The rest of the Heartland family, Lou, Tim, Georgie, and Katie, each have their own reactions to Ty's return. Some are hopeful, others guarded, but none can shake the feeling that something is off. This isn't the man who left them all those years ago. He's changed. Ty carries with him the weight of a secret past that he can't escape, and it doesn't take long before the first signs of trouble appear. Danger is never far behind. This section is just the beginning of Ty's long journey back into the fold. The stakes are high, and the emotional fallout will be felt by every member of the Heartland family. As Ty begins to reintegrate into ranch life, every move he makes is under scrutiny. Can he prove to Amy and the family that he made the right choice? Can they forgive him for the years lost? Will the secrets he carries keep them all in danger? The answers lie ahead, but as Ty's return sparks new tensions, one thing is clear: life on Heartland will never be the same again. As Ty's presence begins to alter the dynamics at Heartland, the true depth of the wounds he left behind becomes painfully clear. Amy, still struggling with her emotions, isn't the only one affected. The entire family faces a series of challenges, and their reactions vary as they grapple with what Ty's return means for them personally and for Heartland as a whole. Amy's emotional journey is the heart of this season, as she must reconcile the man she once loved with the stranger who stands before her. She never expected that the man she thought she had lost forever would return not like this, not after all the years of uncertainty. Despite the joy and relief that come with seeing him alive, there's a flood of emotions that threaten to overwhelm her. Amy is no longer the vulnerable woman who once relied on Ty. She is stronger, more self-reliant, and determined to protect her daughter, Lindy, and the life she's built without him. Her relationship with Lindy has been her sole focus, and she has spent years teaching her daughter that life goes on, even in the face of devastating loss. So, how does she let this man back into her life, especially when his silence has left her carrying a burden she never should have had to bear? The road to forgiveness isn't clear-cut. Amy's anger and sense of betrayal create a chasm between them that neither of them knows how to bridge. Every word, every look is loaded with unspoken questions. Why didn't he tell her? Why did he choose to live without them for all these years? Can she trust him again? The tension between Ty and Amy reaches its boiling point, with both struggling to find common ground. Ty, deeply regretful for the pain he caused, knows that words alone cannot heal the wounds of the past. He must prove that his love for Amy hasn't diminished, but the walls she has built around herself feel insurmountable. Every step he takes to reconnect is met with resistance, and as the season progresses, it becomes clear that the path to healing won't be as simple as Ty apologizing and moving forward. Meanwhile, the rest of the family's reaction to Ty's return is just as complex. Jack, who has always treated Ty like a son, finds himself at a crossroads. His joy at seeing Ty again is clouded by a profound sense of betrayal. Jack's love for Ty runs deep, but so does his sense of duty to protect his family. How could Ty not come back sooner? How could he let them suffer, not knowing the truth? These questions plague Jack, and though he wants to embrace Ty, he can't let go of the anger that has been festering inside him for years. Lou, ever the realist, is more cautious. She questions Ty's motivations, wondering whether he has truly returned for the right reasons or if there's something more sinister at play. With her own family to protect, Lou becomes the voice of reason, urging the others to remain cautious. Her protective nature toward Amy and Lindy leads her to question whether Ty's return is really a positive thing or if the danger from his past still threatens everyone's safety. Tim's reaction is more nuanced as he tries to balance his desire to support Amy with his own struggles with Ty. Tim has always been the one to make tough decisions for the family, and now he must decide whether to trust Ty again or keep his distance. He recognizes the pain Ty has caused, but also understands the weight of the decision to leave his family behind for their safety. Tim becomes a source of support for Ty, yet he remains skeptical of how things will unfold. Georgie and Katie, still young but growing up fast, each process Ty's return in their own way. Georgie, mature beyond her years, feels torn between wanting to support Amy and understanding Ty's reasons for leaving. Katie, though much younger, senses the tension around her and is unsure how to react to the man she's only heard stories about. The tension in the family is palpable, and their interactions are filled with uncertainty as they try to navigate their feelings toward Ty's return. But the emotional drama doesn't stop at personal relationships. The stakes are higher than ever, as Ty's return brings an unexpected threat to Heartland. His past is never far behind, and it doesn't take long before signs emerge that his enemies have followed him. Strange occurrences start happening around the ranch, suspicious figures lurking in the shadows, cryptic messages sent to Ty, and unsettling incidents suggesting that someone knows exactly where he is. The looming threat is one that Ty thought he had outrun when he faked his death all those years ago. But now, as the walls begin to close in on him once more, it's clear that he can't escape the demons of his past so easily. Worse, the people he loves, Amy, Lindy, Jack, Lou, and everyone at Heartland, are in danger because of it. As the family wrestles with their emotions and suspicions, Ty must find a way to protect them without revealing the full extent of the danger that is resurfacing. He is forced to confront the consequences of his past choices, and in doing so, he might find that the only way to keep his loved ones safe is to finally face the enemies who have haunted him for years. As the pressure builds and his struggle to protect his family intensifies, the lines between loyalty, love, and self-preservation blur. Can he repair the fractured relationships before the past destroys everything they fought to rebuild? And will Amy ever find it in her heart to forgive him, or will the weight of betrayal be too much to bear? This season sets the stage for a test of the Heartland family's strength. The emotional stakes are higher than ever, and as Ty's past resurfaces, it's not just the bonds of love and family that are put to the test, but their very survival. As Ty's reappearance continues to shake the foundations of Heartland, a far more sinister presence emerges from the shadows, reminding everyone that danger is far from over. For all the emotional turmoil Ty's return has caused, it's the looming threat from his past that adds a layer of suspense and danger to the already fragile situation. His years in hiding were meant to keep him and the people he loved safe, but now the past has returned with a vengeance, and it's clear that no one is safe. Ty, though relieved to be back in his family's orbit, knows that his enemies will stop at nothing to find him. After all, they've been looking for him for years, and despite his best efforts to sever ties and disappear, there are people from his past who won't let go of their vendetta. As strange events begin to unfold at Heartland, the family realizes that something is terribly wrong. It starts with little things, objects going missing, strange footprints around the ranch, an unsettling feeling in the air. But soon it becomes undeniable that someone is watching them. The first real sign of trouble occurs when Ty receives a cryptic message, an ominous warning that someone from his past is closing in. His heart sinks as he recognizes the handwriting. It's a threat from the very people who drove him into hiding in the first place. The message is short but chilling. You can't hide forever. As Ty tries to make sense of the warning, the family begins to feel the weight of the danger growing closer. Jack, Lou, and Tim each sense that something is wrong, but they have no idea just how deep the danger goes. To protect his family, Ty becomes more secretive. He doesn't want to scare anyone, but he knows that time is running out. The threat is real, and it's only a matter of time before it reaches Heartland. Soon, the tension escalates. Strange vehicles are seen near the ranch, always at a distance, always watching. At night, the sounds of footsteps and the rustling of leaves stir the quiet ranch, keeping everyone on edge. Ty's old enemies have found him, and they're making their move. They've tracked him down after years of searching, and they're not going to let him slip away again. Ty becomes increasingly paranoid, and his protective instincts kick into overdrive. He begins to train again, staying up late to ensure the ranch is secure, all while trying to keep his family safe, without revealing the full extent of the danger. But every step he takes feels like it's leading toward an inevitable confrontation. He knows it's only a matter of time before they make their move, and the thought of endangering those he loves more than anything keeps him up at night. Amy, still reeling from the emotional aftermath of Ty's return, senses that something is wrong. She tries to reach him, but Ty pushes her away, keeping her in the dark about the true dangers surrounding them. The secrecy only deepens the chasm between them. Amy is frustrated by his lack of openness, but as she begins to see the signs of his growing anxiety, she realizes that this isn't just about their fractured relationship, it's about protecting their family. But as Ty tries to shield everyone from the threats now encroaching on Heartland, it's clear that his efforts may be too little, too late. The family starts to get caught up in the danger. Late one evening, a mysterious figure is spotted near the barn, and the next morning, a few of the horses seem to have been tampered with. The ranch has been breached, and Ty knows the attackers are only getting bolder. The stakes are now higher than ever. Every family member is at risk, and Ty realizes that, to protect them, he must confront his past head-on. But there's a problem. Confronting his enemies means facing the darkness he's been running from for years, and doing so risks everything he's worked to rebuild with Amy, Jack, Lou, and the others. The emotional ties are fragile, and any wrong move could shatter the delicate trust that has begun to form again. Tensions boil over when a close call with one of Ty's old adversaries sends shockwaves through the family. The attackers make their intentions clear. They don't just want Ty, they want to destroy everything he holds dear. The danger isn't just a threat to Ty anymore, it's a threat to Amy, Lindy, Jack, Lou, and everyone at Heartland. Ty knows that the only way to end this is to take the fight to them, but doing so could put the Heartland family in greater danger than ever before. The choice is agonizing. Does he risk it all and go on the offensive, knowing that his past might destroy the family he loves? Or does he retreat further into the shadows, leaving his family to pick up the pieces in his absence? While Ty wrestles with this decision, Amy and the family are left to cope with the fear and uncertainty that now loom over Heartland. The quiet haven they've built for years is no longer safe. The peaceful life they once enjoyed is now under siege. The Heartland family has been upended by a threat they never saw coming. As the pressure mounts, they must decide whether to stand together in the face of an overwhelming storm or let the danger divide them once again. As the suspense grows and the threat becomes more real, the Heartland family faces their toughest test yet. Will they survive the storm that is about to hit, or will Ty's past prove to be their undoing? The burden of his past is no longer his alone to carry, it is one they all must face together. As the finale approaches, one thing becomes clear: the heart of Heartland will be tested like never before. As the shadow of danger closes in, the emotional weight on the family grows heavier. The ranch has always been a symbol of resilience, a place where love, loyalty, and trust can heal even the deepest wounds. But with mounting tension, the return of old threats, and the fractures caused by Taya's disappearance, that very foundation is at risk of crumbling. The question remains: can the Heartland family rebuild the trust that has been broken, or will they be torn apart by the turmoil that has followed Taya back into their lives? For Amy, the stakes are personal. She has spent years grappling with the heartbreak of losing Tai, and now his return has thrown her life into chaos. The joy of seeing him alive is overshadowed by the unresolved pain of his absence. No matter how hard she tries, she can't seem to let go of the years of betrayal. Every conversation, every touch, is a reminder of what she has lost. The emotional scars run deep, and the fear of being hurt again by the man she once loved is ever present. Yet, as the danger grows, Amy finds herself faced with a decision that could define the future of their relationship and the future of Heartland itself. Despite her pain and unresolved anger, Amy starts to see glimpses of the man she once knew. Tai is different now, not just in his actions, but in the way he carries himself. Wounded, remorseful, yet determined to make things right, he begins to break through her walls. Trust does not come easily for Amy, and forgiveness feels like an impossible mountain to climb. But the love she once felt for Tai is not entirely gone. It is just buried beneath years of grief, anger, and unanswered questions. Tai, on the other hand, is consumed with guilt and regret. He knows he can never undo the years he lost or the pain he caused Amy. He made a choice to leave, believing it was for the greater good, but in doing so, he broke the heart of the one person he loved most. Now, he faces the harsh reality that no amount of apologies or explanations can erase the hurt. What Tai needs most is Amy's forgiveness, but he knows he has no right to ask for it. His hope lies in the small moments when Amy allows herself to look past the pain and see the man he is now, not the one who abandoned her. However, as much as they both yearn for reconciliation, trust is fragile, and one misstep could break it again. The emotional tension between them is palpable. Every move Tai makes is scrutinized, and every word he says feels like a test. Can Amy ever fully believe in him again? Can Tai prove that he is worth the second chance he is asking for? The weight of these questions looms large, and as the family continues to face the threat from Tai's past, they must also confront the emotional consequences of his return. Other family members struggle with their trust in Tai as well. Jack, ever the protector, wants nothing more than to believe in Tai again. He raised him like a son, loved him as family, but years of grief and betrayal have left Jack with a heart full of questions. He understands that Tai's decisions were complicated, but there is still a lingering sense of hurt that refuses to fade. Jack's relationship with Tai is one of the most complex, as he grapples with his love for the man who stood by him through thick and thin and the hurt caused by his sudden disappearance. Lou, the pragmatic and fiercely protective sister, also faces an internal struggle. She has always been the one to keep the family together, to see through the cracks and hold things in place. But Tai's return tests that role. While relieved to see him alive, she is also cautious. She has seen the toll his absence has taken on Amy and must decide whether to trust Tai's intentions or fear that he is playing a dangerous game with their emotions. Lou's protective instincts kick in, making her the family's voice of reason, reminding everyone of the importance of caution and self-preservation. Tim, who has always had a complicated relationship with Tai, tries to stay neutral. He sees the pain Tai's disappearance caused, but also understands the necessity of the difficult choices Tai had to make. Tim's inner conflict grows as he watches the family struggle to heal, torn between his desire to forgive Tai and his concern for everyone's safety. His support for Amy remains unwavering, but he also recognizes the sacrifices Tai has made. Tim's journey is one of reluctant understanding, but the emotional scars of the past are difficult to move beyond. Georgie, who has grown up faster than anyone could have imagined, is caught in the middle of it all. Her relationship with Ty has always been more distant, but as she watches the family struggle with forgiveness and trust, she begins to understand the complexities of love and loss. The pain of losing a family member and the burden of unspoken words weigh heavily on her. Though not directly involved in the emotional conflict, Georgia's maturity makes her the family's silent observer, offering a sobering reflection on what it means to truly forgive and move forward. As the family's emotional turmoil unfolds, it becomes clear that the stakes extend beyond emotional healing. The danger from Ty's past is not just a threat to him, it is a threat to everyone he loves. The adversaries hunting him down are growing bolder, and now the family is directly in their crosshairs. The question of trust is no longer just about Tay and Amy, it is a matter of survival. Will they band together as a family and set aside their personal struggles in the face of overwhelming danger, or will emotional wounds tear them apart just when they need each other most? The breaking point approaches as the threat intensifies. Ty must make an impossible decision: continue to shield his family from the truth or risk everything to confront his past head-on. The emotional stakes reach their highest point as Ty, Amy, Jack, Lou, and Tim must decide what is more important: their family's survival or the painful journey toward forgiveness. Trust, once shattered, is hard to rebuild, but at the heart of Heartland, love might just be the glue that holds them all together if they can learn to forgive and let go of the past before it's too late. As the Heartland family stands on the brink of emotional collapse, with Taya's past threatening to destroy everything they hold dear, the season reaches its heart-pounding, edge-of-your-seat conclusion. The stakes have never been higher. The emotional journey of Taya and Amy, the tension between trust and betrayal, and the looming danger from Taya's enemies all come to a head, forcing the family to confront their deepest fears and ultimately decide the future of Heartland. It is no longer enough to simply navigate the delicate balance of trust and forgiveness. They must face the reality of the danger steadily encroaching on their peaceful lives. The stakes are personal, but they are also existential. Tay's enemies, who have been circling ever closer, are now making their move. The past he thought he had outrun is no longer something he can hide from. The time for avoidance is over. It is time for him to confront his demons.